Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. If you do any woodworking, even a moderate amount, you got to drill holes. And if you've been using the standard twist bit that's used to drill metal, you're really missing out on a better tool, the brad point bit. Let me show you what it is, where you can find it, why it works better, and a very economical set that we've got a special deal for you. Stay tuned. Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. Thanks for joining me in the shop today. You know, we love having a drill press, and it's part of our maker space. And we put accessories with it. And one of the best upgrades we've done along the way is getting the right drill bits for it. But in case you're interested in this drill press and you want to check out Powermatic's 2800 series, this is an older one, but we love this drill press. You can just check out that link here or just go down to the description below. We always give you more information in the description below than we're going to take time to convey to you during the filming of the video. But you can check that out there. Also, a tool like this really benefits by getting great accessories with it. And a couple of things that we've added here is a little tool deck right here where our bits set in here. We've also added hold downs and all sorts of things with this. You can check out that video right there if you'd like, also about a couple of our favorite accessories. But meanwhile, let's get right back to what we're here today about, and that is using the right drill bit. Now, metal drill bits are set up to drill metal, and let me show you the difference between the two. On the right here, you can see the brad point bit, and on the left, you can see a standard twist bit that's used for cutting metal. Both of these are 3/8 diameter, and there's a little bit of difference between them, though, or let's say there's a lot of bit of difference, because if you look at the tip of each of them, looking right here, you can see the tip is just kind of blunt, but not really. It comes to a point, but not a sharp point, and the cutting edges right here are right at the forefront of the drill. And that is really a good way to do it for cutting into metal. You essentially dimple the metal, get a starter hole, get that shape right there into that dimple, and then start to apply pressure. And then if there's a moderate amount of drilling, a good cutting fluid or oil is applied to really help lubricate it. And of course, the chips are lifted away by the flutes here as it comes back out of there. And that's set up so that it cuts metal well. Now, does it cut wood? Yes, it does, but not as good as this bit does right here. But before we go there, here's why. When this enters into the work, because that is kind of like a blunt, rounded over area, it'll tend to wander a little bit in the wood depending on where the grain in the wood is and where it's hard and where it's soft. Also, if there wasn't a real clear or real good dimple or indent for it to start, it'll tend to go off left or right. And because it's cutting all at the same time, there's a significant amount of pressure being put forward like this into the work. And so what that means is when this exits the work on the other side, it's done its work, it's gone through, and now it's coming out the bottom side of the work, there's a lot of pressure being put here, and it'll tend to blow out all the sides of the hole. If you're at this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now the twist bit, these are both twists, but this is a brad point with side spurs. And let's look at the four main elements of this, okay? First of all, notice what's sticking out the furthest, and that is the brad point itself. It's very sharp, it's very precise, so even a moderate dimple or even a mark on your wood where you've done your layout, it's going to stay true, or at least have a much higher chance of staying exactly where it needs to. The second thing to enter the wood, notice what's now sticking out furthest after this, and that is these right here, the spurs on the side. So they create a shearing action which cuts the periphery of the hole, but it also helps to guide and center and to keep it true. So if you're drilling, let's say at a slight angle, like that into wood that's like this, well then it's going to still help it to stay on track. So here you've got, first of all, the spur, the brad point, the second, the spur. The third thing to enter the work is right here, and that is the cutting lips that now shear out the interior of the hole. But the outside edge is defined by these, and the whole bit is guided by this point here. Now you have the flutes along the side that pull away the chips. And notice, let's see if we can get you a good shot right there, that the flute edges out front are proud of this. They're actually raised a little bit. You can see the ridge right there. So these are polishing, shearing off the side and lifting up very cleanly all of the bits down below, or all the shreds of wood that are being ejected up as this is rotating. And so these are very, very clean, and you can see the geometry of why it works. Now, we're going to actually put these to the test and both run them through a block of cherry, just so you can see the results, how they drill, and also the exit. And then I'm going to tell you about a great set that we found of these that are a great price point and will serve you well, especially if you're first getting into brad point bits. Okay, let's go ahead and use a 3/8 standard metal bit. I've set it to depth on my backup block. I have set it to where it'll drill here, and I've just arbitrarily picked a point, a marked point there. Let's just see how this does. As it goes in, because of the thickness of the bit, it doesn't look like it's deflecting much at all. We look like we have a really nice clean hole. Let's go ahead and put her through. And as we near the bottom here. Okay, so we've gone through. There's the top. There's the bottom. So there you can see that it didn't come through real clearly. And you can see down here my two different holes there that I moved it slightly, so it was backed up. It should have worked. We're actually going to move it over and do it one more time. We'll use that little dimple mark right there this time around. Let's go for it and see what we get. Taking it through slowly. Again, you can see it does not do well on the tear out. That's because the bit, the geometry of the bit, is pushing it all through at the same time. Let's switch up here. Okay, now we have switched to the brad point bit. You can see that there. We're going to go ahead and change this around so we have a fresh puncture point through the back. I'm going to go ahead and start by putting it just hitting near that pencil dot to see how much deflection we get. No deflection. It's cutting with a lot less resistance, I can tell you that. I can feel it in the handles. All right, let's look there. Look at that, much cleaner. Very slight, but it's there, just a little bit. Scraper, a little bit of sanding. Let's go ahead and move this over a little bit more. We're going to take the dimple. There's a dimple right there. Kind of locked right in there. I really like how this feels as it enters the work. It's very, I can feel as it went right through there. Let's take it out. I'm going to roll it over. A little bit more tear out that time when it came through, but I think that was more the speed I did. Let's look over here versus here. See, that's some pretty significant tear out versus there. So that brad point bit is really cool. All right, let's tell you where you can get these. All right, as promised, let me tell you about a great little set I found from Montana Tools. And as you can see, there's an American emblem on that. Now, I'm not anti-manufacturing anywhere in the world, but I do believe this, that you ought to support the industries of the country you live in. And if you live in the United States of America, Montana Tools, which is a subsidiary of Rocky Mountain Twist, is located north of Missoula, Montana, in a town called Ronan. And they make all of their own equipment there, use all of their own domestic steel, and put out everything using things straight here from the United States. And so if you'd like to buy American made, this is a great way to do it. Now, you don't have to compromise on overpaying or not getting a great product, because these products are really great. This little black oxide set, 6 different bits, is about $30 with a $10 flat fee shipping charge, and you can order as many as you want. As a matter of fact, you can also go to their website, and you'll see that link down below that points out where you can buy them in jobber sets of approximately 6 sets of 6 or 12, and those come in longer lengths, and they're also the bright finish, but very sharp, and that they really have done a great job on this. Now, all right, what I'd like to do now is show you some of the engineering and some of the specific features that Montana Tools put into these X29 bits. The first clue is the X29 is named after Grumman's experimental aircraft, the X29 forward swept wing aircraft that was under consideration for adding to the U.S. military arsenals. But, and you'll see this in just a moment here. Let's go ahead and get this out of the wrap, and let's walk you step by step a few things that you're really going to like. Let's go ahead and get this out of the wrap here and take a look here at these bits. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is right here, there is a back cut right along that spur, and that kind of creates exactly what we're talking about, the forward swept wings here. And as we pointed out earlier, here you have the brad point. The next two items that are entering into the work are the spurs. Then you have the cutting lips right here. And then, of course, the flutes carry away all of the chips that are produced while you're drilling. Another thing I want to point out is the shape on the bottom of these. Now, these are cut so that there are flats on each of these sides, on 3 sides, allowing your chuck to really grip onto those really nice and resist spinning. All right, so now let's go ahead and take this particular set, which, by the way, they only come in imperial sizes, but there's equivalents in the descriptions down below for each of this. Let's go ahead and use this 1/2-inch bit and drill it through about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches of cherry to see how it enters the work and how it X's as well. Let's take a look. All right, let's see what we get here. We're going to do this a couple times here. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the drill. Runs nice and true. And also listen to the way the bit sounds. I'm going to go ahead and enter the work. You can hear it's got a really nice shearing. Boy, it is really ejecting the chips beautifully. And I'm going to go ahead and back out. And then, just as it gets close to the end, it's always a good idea, or as you're going to come out the other side, to clear one more time, and then just slowly go through the back side. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, so there is the entry side right there. There's the exit side. As you can see, there is no chip out whatsoever. Let's put up in the light for you to see it there. There is nothing there. It is beautifully done. These are so incredibly sharp, and for the price point, what you get, I think they're a real winner. No, we're not doing an ad for Rocky Mountain Twist or for Montana Tools, but when we find great tools, it's our pleasure to pass them on to you. We think you're really going to like them. Check out the website below, and what you can do is also get a great discount using the promo code that's provided in the description below. If you need to put threads into wood so you can use connectors, such as making jigs and fixtures or knockdown furniture, then you really got to check out threaded inserts. You can look at our video in the description below, or and the end card that shows you about a foolproof way to install those threaded connectors. Or you can take a look at Easy Lock's connector system right here, which includes both the inserts, a drill bit, and a drive tool that makes it really foolproof to put these in. You can check out the entire video and the review on the entire product line right here. And afterwards, go and check out dirtfarmerj.com/shop for a great line of merchandise on hats, mugs, and shirts. Until the next time, this is Dirt Farmer J from dirtfarmerj.com.